Okay, hello everybody. Hello, my friends. And welcome to today's gameplay stream. I am back after my day away to rejuvenate, relax, but also to spend time with my girl Kat, to go out and run errands and the like. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to return to stream today for a full streaming week. And unlike last week, the schedule should be pretty consistent and normal this week. There shouldn't be any days where only one stream instead of two, etc. It should be a full streaming week for you guys, okay? So welcome everyone, DSP here, live on the stream. Today is Sunday, July 15th, 2018. Before we even get started, let's get the elephant out of the room. Let's kick him in the butt and say, the World Cup is over. France has won. Viva la delicious baguettes, cheese, and wine. I'm sure that the French will be celebrating in the streets with all three of these items for several weeks to come. They'll be dangling from the top of the Eiffel Tower. They'll be, wearing their striped shirts and doing all kinds of miming activities. Is there anything more stereotypical for France that I could say while I'm at it? Let's see. Oui, gay Paris, and the like. So France has won. So, ladies and gentlemen, now finally, after what seemed like forever, probably about 3 straight weeks, right? Finally, I think things will calm down a little bit when it comes to streaming. And, there we go. Lord Edmund Blackadder says they eat frogs. Yes, enjoy your delicious frog legs. But I think finally things will finally calm down with people talking about the World Cup in the stream chat. The thing is that I understand that I do have a large international viewer base, meaning that many of you guys who tune into my streams are not living in the United States. Many of you are in Europe or other countries where the World Cup is huge, where football is the #1 sport. Here in the United States, I just saw an article. Viewership of the World Cup was down 60%. I'm not even kidding. Viewership of the World Cup on American television was down 60% than 4 years ago. As I've told you guys, which a lot of people make fun of, oh, Phil just doesn't know. No, in the United States, seriously, nobody cares about the World Cup. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, normally you would see, oh, it's the World Cup, so you're going to see product tie-ins. You go to the store, you'll see a bunch of ads. Oh, this product is supporting the World Cup. Nothing. None of that. I'm not even kidding. Like, most of the United States just didn't give a shit about the World Cup at all. And so for me, it was kind of like, not a big deal at all. So, I'm just kind of shrugging and be like, meh. But so many of you have been talking about the World Cup at length for the past 3+ weeks as, different teams were facing off and eliminating each other. So I understand. But finally, World Cup is over. Congratulations to France. That is it. It's done. Stick a fork in it. And now we can get back to our regularly scheduled lives and stream topics, including all kinds of distractors, drama, negative memes, and the like. Or I hope not. I hope that we don't get back to that. I hope that we stay nice and fun and positive just like we've been. As I told you guys, this month, we're now exactly halfway through August, has been the most supportive month in a short period of time that I've ever had streaming. I'm not kidding. Like, the first 2 weeks of July have been... Did I say August, by the way? It's July. Why the hell did I say August? For the first 2 weeks of July, not August. It's been amazingly good. You guys have been showing up to the streams, regardless of the fact that I'm doing all downtime stuff, classic games, cheering, subbing, tipping, being incredibly supportive. And I'm, excited for the future, because the bottom line is, if you guys are this supportive now, right, I can just imagine once the actual new game releases start coming out and we start getting people coming into the streams that are, people that only watch me watching new games, are going to have such a huge positive element. I'm very excited for the future of streaming. I hope you guys are too. So, very excited moving forward this year to see how things go. Okay, but thank you. The first 2 weeks of July have been so supportive and everything. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the positivity rolling. All right, so today's Sunday, guys. As you guys know, that means only one gameplay stream because it is the beginning of my week, and I have a lot of stuff to do tonight, which I'll explain in just a moment. But first of all, our stream today will be the conclusion. All right, of Jak 3 HD. It's going to be a lot of fun. The playthrough has been great so far. I really feel that Jak 3 has been a game with a ton of variety. Although, admittedly, the narrative of the game, the story, has been kind of all over the place. You know, first you're banished from the city, you're in the desert, and you're getting all these new powers in the desert while you're working for the people who run the desert settlement. Then next thing you know, you're back in the city. There's chaos in the streets. There's the metalheads versus the KG versus the bots versus, you know, a million different groups. And you're constantly just doing missions for all this chaotic stuff going on in the city. Then you find out, oh, none of those are actually the bad guy. There's another big baddie that's coming ominously to destroy the planet or whatever. Just very weird, okay? But that being said, and even though the game does seem kind of disjointed, you know, I'll be honest here, some of the the driving segments in the desert don't seem to really be necessary, and they're just for padding. And quite frankly, are some of the worst parts of the game because the driving mechanics are terrible. But, you know, outside of that, it's been pretty fun, a pretty fun experience. I've really enjoyed Jak 3, even though there have been some really frustrating, rage-inducing parts, being that it is an older style game. I did still enjoy it, so I hope you guys have been enjoying the playthrough. Today we're going to have the big conclusion. Now, here's the thing. The game is claiming that I'm 83% done, and I don't actually know how much legitimately is left in the story of the game. So we may finish early, and if we do, what I'll probably do more than likely is I'll switch the stream over, and maybe we'll do a little bit of impromptu Street Fighter gameplay or something, just because you will have extra time to finish off the stream rather than end early, you know. But again, if I end with only like a half an hour extra, you know, left, then probably, yeah, I will end early. But if we end up, let's say we play this for 2 hours, it's done, right? Then I will switch over and we'll do some Street Fighter impromptu or something like that, okay? Now, tonight, no second stream. Sunday nights, I'm always busy, but in particular this week, I'm super busy. Patron stuff out the wazoo. I've got many patron private Q&A videos to film based off of people who pledged last month in June. I've also got to get some forum upgrades, okay? Yeah, some forum upgrades that I owe everyone for being patrons in June, and I'll be sending those off to the webmaster to be processed this week. So, yeah, there's a lot of patron stuff I got to do tonight, so I'm going to be very busy with patron stuff tonight, so no time for a second stream, but I'll be back tomorrow with double streaming days all week long, Monday through Friday. Every day will be a double stream day, okay? So what can you expect? Tomorrow, Monday, will be more Persona 5, and boy am I excited for more Persona 5, because if you guys did not see the stream on Friday, I pretty much had the most productive Persona 5 stream I've ever had. I maxed out multiple social links. I got some really incredibly overpowered abilities for combat. I got some incredibly powerful personas that I can pretty much fuse any persona I want now, which is amazing. And we had some good, you know, story progression. So we're at a point in the game where the story's going to pick up and there's going to be combat, but I'm going to be well equipped for it, I feel. Okay? So that should be a lot of fun tomorrow when we return to Persona 5. Tomorrow night, Monday night, I'll be finishing up Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, which is a playthrough I've been doing for about 2 weeks on and off. Finally, we're in the final couple of missions. So I'll be finishing that off Monday night. Then on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, as long as everything goes according to plan, which I hope it does, and I hope that the games that I ordered last week do actually show up either today or tomorrow as they're supposed to from Amazon, I'll be starting up Silent Hill 2 HD on Tuesday. Now, this is going to be the PlayStation 3 version from the HD collection, and if you're not aware, this version, even though apparently when the collection first released was very flawed, on the PlayStation 3 they actually patched the game multiple times to try to make it better. So from what I'm to understand, that's not so bad anymore. It actually is quite decent, and they fixed a lot of the problems that were a part of the main game in that HD collection. So I'll be starting that up on Tuesday as part of my retro events for the summer downtime. You know, Silent Hill 2, I originally played in March of 2012, and people really loved the playthrough, said it was one of their favorites ever, and I'm looking forward to going back to it. You know, I apologize to those who were purists of Silent Hill, and were like, man, I wish that Phil would have played the original game. There's not much I could do about that. The original game is not available anywhere. Like, you cannot get it digitally anywhere, and I don't have a PS2 that I can capture from, so I can't, like, buy the original game off eBay and then play it on PS2. I have to play one of the versions available for modern consoles, okay? So, we shall see. how that goes starting Tuesday. Then Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing a session of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, okay? And then for the rest of the week, I'm playing it by ear, because I will be playing 2 major games. I'll still be doing Persona, and I'll be doing Silent Hill, so maybe I'll alternate between those 2. FYI, one of the other games that I'm very strongly considering starting sooner rather than later is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This is a game that I played originally, again, I believe it was back in 2012. It could have been 2011, but I think it was 2012 when I did my summer of Grand Theft Auto. And people really love the playthrough, but sadly, to replay it today, I cannot use the music. Just like my San Andreas playthrough earlier this year. But people have been urging me to play the game. Okay. And I'm like, man, I think it's going to be fun. People are still asking for it. Not much you can do about it. If I put the music in, no one will be able to watch it on demand. The archives here on Twitch will end up being muted and blocked. The videos on YouTube will be muted and blocked. So I just got to go ahead and do it without the music, But what we could do, keep in mind, much like when I played San Andreas earlier this year, I think that the playthrough could be very entertaining with the interactivity. The reason that the music became such a big quintessential part of my original playthroughs of these games is because I was playing them offline. It was before I ever did direct capture or streaming. So there was no interactivity at all. It was just me by myself playing these games. And a lot of the times when I was driving around, there was nothing going on. So I'd sing the music or interact with the music or comment on the music because there's nothing else to do. It's just dead air. Versus now, playing these games, all right, now I interact with you. And again, it was the same kind of sentiment when I played San Andreas earlier this year. People were like, man, I think the playthrough's going to stink because there's no music. And, I don't think Phil should replay it. I replayed it. And overwhelmingly, once I started replaying the game, the feedback that I received was, wow, this is actually really good and entertaining. And I'm glad that Phil played it regardless of the fact that there's no music. This ended up being a really good playthrough. Okay? So I think we're going to do it, and that'll be good variety. Vice City, Silent Hill, and Persona. Until Persona wraps up, and then I'm going to start up with Octopath Traveler, a game that many people have been playing over the weekend and saying it's quite good but quite challenging, which is right up my alley because I am all for traditional, challenging JRPGs. I really am. So there you go. And then, of course, keep in mind, guys, all these 3 main playthroughs that I'm probably going to be doing will be balanced with things like Street Fighter at night or H1Z1 or the like, and I'll be balancing them. Some of them will end up being shorter streams at night, so we'll see. But that's kind of the rough idea that I have for the next week. And then, like I said, once we start with Octopath Traveler and all that, the next game will probably be Eternal Darkness. Let's try that again. Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. Okay, another survival horror game that I ordered along with the Silent Hill collection for the GameCube. This is a game that apparently came out right at the same time as Resident Evil 4, and people are like, wow, it really was a great game, but most people didn't play it because it was overshadowed by Resident Evil 4 at the time, and it's basically become a cult hit. So I will eventually be playing that as well, okay? Yeah, so a good summer downtime stuff coming up. I hope you guys are excited for the future streams coming up, and I'm excited. I love, even though the summer is a time with almost no new releases, it's a cool time when I get the chance to interact with games that maybe I've missed out on, right? Or at the same time to re-experience games that people really enjoyed my playthroughs of originally. And I love that about the summer. I do. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying the streams. Obviously you have, because as I said, the past 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of July have been some of the best streaming weeks I've ever done, ever. You guys have been coming out with your support so greatly, and I really appreciate that, okay? So, thank you very much, and, looking forward to the future, okay? Outside of that, I really don't have much to talk about. It's not like I have any new updates or anything to discuss with you guys. So, I guess what we'll do is we'll just head into the plugs, alright? We'll do the plug segment, and then, as you guys know, by the way, what the hell happened to the death counter? I just noticed. There's no top cheer. Look. Top cheer. I don't know what happened. Where did that go from? I call it death counter, by the way, even though the technical name for that is the Stream Stats Leaderboard. The reason I still call that the death counter is because before I ever did these interactive live streams, the only time that I had that kind of information, like an overlay on the screen, was when I was playing like a Dark Souls game, and I was counting the deaths during the playthrough. So I still call it the death counter, even though it's really the stream stats leaderboard. But anyway, I updated that. So yeah, let's get to the plugs. Then after that, I'll do shout outs for people who've cheered, subbed, or tipped during the stream. And then we'll jump into Jack 3's conclusion. I have no idea how long it's going to take for me to beat the game, but we're going to find out. Okay. Sound good, my friends? Does that sound good? Okay. All right. So let's do this, guys. So, thank you guys for 10 years of support. Okay? 10 freaking years that you guys have supported me as a content creator on the internet. Whether it was putting up gameplay videos, reviews, or fun stuff on YouTube, or now being an interactive live streamer. You guys are absolutely amazing. You allow me to do what I love for a living, which is a very big rarity that people get to do that. My hobby is my job, and that is pretty damned awesome, and I'm very appreciative and grateful of that, all right? Now, that being said, right now we're in the midst of the summer downtime. No new releases. And what that means, sadly, folks, is that YouTube ad revenue is at its absolute lowest. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you guys, right now, in a single day, even though my views are decent to good, all right, in fact, my views in July have been above what they were in June, I'm making now about one-third of the amount of money that I was making on YouTube last month. So, YouTube ad revenue is in the toilet. I'm making almost nothing. It sucks. It's really bad, okay? That being said, there are many ways that you can still support me, and you can allow me to continue to do this for a living, full-time. If you like the daily live streams, you like the on-demand videos, you like everything I'm doing, you want to see it continue and be successful, and allow me to keep doing this as a job, here's how you can help. The first way is to check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. All right, please give it a look. If you give it a look, you're going to notice that depending on how much you contribute to my monthly patron drive, you're going to earn things called perks. And these are cool ways that you can get stuff back for your contributions. Rather than just contributing and getting nothing, you actually get stuff back, like getting premium forum access, being able to do a private Q&A video, which I'm going to do a bunch tonight. But for me, the best perk is the $5 perk, because if you pledge $5 to my Patreon, you get to nominate and vote on things for special events. Right now, patrons are nominating and voting on games for the upcoming Rageathon Marathon event that's going to take place in August. This month, if we hit our monthly subscriber goal here on Twitch, then the patrons are going to be nominating and voting on anything, any kind of video coverage that I've put out in the past 10 years for a special 10 Years of Rage retrospective event to take place this fall, where basically you guys will choose some moments from my 10-year history on the internet for me to react to on a stream. First time I'll ever be looking back at my own stuff like that and doing any kind of a react kind of a deal. So it should be pretty fun and exciting, okay? So, please consider pledging to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. If you do, it helps me out tremendously with the cost of operating the business. And I just want to say thank you to those who did pledge in June. You guys actually dramatically helped me to afford my bills this month when things were very tight in the first 2 weeks of July. It was actually that increased revenue from Patreon that allowed me to get past that. So thank you guys. And please, guys, consider pledging. Again, if you love the stuff I do, you want to go above and beyond, it's a great way to do so and get something out of it yourself. Okay? All right, there we go. Number 2, please check out Teespring. My Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs, and the like. Anything you buy from my Teespring store, I get a fun commission, but a useful commission is what I meant to say. Helps me out. And obviously, you get a fun collectible for your purchase. So check it out. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And yes, Teespring does ship internationally. It's not just within the United States. They do ship outside of the U.S. Okay? All right. And certainly last but not least, guys, if you guys are here live on the stream, you love the streams. You want to get some interaction with me. Okay? If you cheer with bits or subscribe to the channel or tip me, I will give you a verbal shout out during the stream and or react/answer a question, depending on what it is you choose to do. Okay? I'm very appreciative of any contributions you guys will lend during the course of today's stream, and it helps me out a lot. All right? But there's a few criteria. Number one, try to be positive. Please do not bring in negativity or drama or insults. Don't try to insult me or anyone else. Don't try to stir up drama. You know, oh, this guy said this about you. This guy said that about you. Negative stuff. Don't want to hear it, okay? And the bottom line is that I like to keep my streams fun and moving swiftly. You know, this is a gameplay stream primarily, although interaction is a huge part of it. If you try to get a shout out that's a ginormous 20-sentence paragraph, I'm probably not going to read it. If you're here being negative or whatever, I'm probably not going to read it. It's subjective what I read on my own stream, okay? So thank you for your contributions. Most people who do attempt to get shout outs during the stream understand it, they get it, and, you know, they're here for positivity and fun, which is what I think we're all here for. So let's keep it like that, okay? Now, if you'd like to get visual recognition for your contributions during today's stream, you could do so as well. If you either cheer 50 bits or more in a single cheer, or if you subscribe to the channel, wait a few minutes and then click on the share button that appears, or if you tip me $5 or more in a single tip, any of those three things, you'll actually get visual recognition because an animation, a fun animation, will play here on the stream. All right. So you get both visual, and then, of course, I'll give you the shout out, so verbal recognition as well. Very nice, and thanks to anyone who does contribute, okay? A couple quick things. Number one, let's talk subscribing and subscribers. As you guys know, the subscriber goal for this month is that 10 Years of Rage special marathon retrospective event. We're at 415 of 450 subs so far, so we are well within range, reaching range of hitting the goal, all right? It's not far off, but you got to subscribe, guys. What do you get if you subscribe to the channel? Number one, you get access to all of my fun emotes, including the new Street Fighter ones, which you can use every week when I play fighting games. You've got the DSP Pepe emote, all the traditional DSP faces. A lot of fun emotes there, good fun stuff. Please consider subbing just for the emotes alone that you can use here or in anyone else's channel on Twitch. But in addition to the emotes, you also get a cool Chat Crown loyalty badge starting off as a bronze for a new sub, and then once you hit 3 months of support ongoing, it's silver, then it turns gold at 6 months, etc. So there you go. Also, you do not have to watch advertisements if you are a subscriber of mine. And a lot of people hate ads. I'm one of them. I hate watching advertisements myself. Okay? So please consider subscribing to the channel so that when I run ads during ad breaks, of which I do 1 or 2 a stream, you don't have to watch those ads. It's just another benefit, all right? So please consider it. Subscribing not only gives you all those things, but also, as I said, works towards that monthly goal. I would really love to do the 10 Years of Rage retrospective event. We got 2 weeks left in this month to hit the goal. Let's push towards it and let's do it. Okay, guys? All right, and last but not least, if you guys are interested in tipping me, which I already mentioned during the pre-stream, and you may be saying, gee, I wonder, how do you tip? How exactly do you tip on the stream? Well, it's a completely separate system from cheering and subbing, which are integrated into Twitch. Tipping is third party through PayPal. You do it 2 different methods. If you look below my stream right now, you should see a grid of information, all kinds of buttons and stuff. One of them says tip jar, and if you click on it, it should take you to my tips page, where you can leave either an anonymous tip or your name in a message if you'd actually like a shout out in, as a thank you for your contributions, okay? Or if you don't see any of that grid of information I just described, you may be on a mobile version of the site where it doesn't show any of those. If that's the case, just type in !tip into the stream chat. That's the chat command to bring up the link. You can click on the link. It goes right to my PayPal tips page. You can leave a tip via that method as well, okay? As you guys can see, at the top of the screen, okay, this stream, we will have the stream stats leaderboard, where you've got the running number of subs as well as top cheer and top tip. So if you are the top cheerer or top tipper for today, your name's going to be up there at the top of the stream, and that's going to be seen not only on the stream today, but also these videos are being recorded for YouTube. So you get double recognition, basically, if you are the top contributor in one category or another. And that's pretty awesome, right? Now, last thing, guys, before we get to shout-outs, which we're about to start, I just want to call special attention and thanks to the top contributors this week. This week, the top 10 leaderboard for cheers has been really weird because earlier this week, we had these random names we've never seen before came in overnight and did a bunch of big cheering to help me out. I don't know who they were. I don't know if they're bot accounts. No idea. But they pretty much dominated the leaderboard this week, right? But I do want to call attention to the Lord Lamb V3, who was the first place contributor this week with over 17,000 bits. We also had Octoa, who ended up being second place with over 50,000 bits. And then Infinite 55 did over 3,000 bits. These guys are the top bit contributors this week. I just want to say thank you guys very much for your cheers. You guys are awesome. and I'm very appreciative of your contributions. Apologies to everyone else who normally might have showed up on the leaderboard. You know, like I said, we did have these weird kind of cheers that happened overnight earlier this week that dominated the leaderboards. However, tonight is when the leaderboards reset. Tonight, the leaderboards will reset. So starting tomorrow, you'll be able to get up on there again, okay? Okay, so that is it, guys. Let us get to shout-outs for those who contributed during the weekend when I was not live streaming. That's right, guys, because as you guys know, every Saturday I take off from streaming in order to spend time with my girl and to do errands and the like. And I did that, okay? But that being said, I have people who come in here and actually contribute when I'm not here. I'm not even broadcasting, and people think of me, and that is really awesome, you know? As a 10-year content creator, that people appreciate what I do and want to support when I'm not even live is pretty amazing. So, giving credit where credit is due, shout out to the following people who actually contributed while I was not here. We've got Infinite55 who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, Infinite. We got the Almighty Assassin who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Almighty Assassin, for the subscription. And then Emperor Swaggins did basically a statement letter by letter. Phil, you are awesome. And he cheered every letter in that statement. Phil, you are awesome was a 25-bit cheer. So basically, I mean, if you do it with Phil, that's 4. U, that's 7. R, that's 10. Awesome is 7. So he did 17 cheers, 25 bits. That's what, just under 500 bits? So thank you to Emperor Swaggins for that cheer overnight as well. So thanks to everyone. Appreciative of you guys who did just contribute when I was not here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But now, let us get to the current stream, which is running right now, and let us get to shoutouts. By the way, I should mention, my pre-stream was only about 20 minutes today. The shoutouts started about 3-4 minutes ago. So again, to those who criticize and say the pre-stream is too long, my pre-stream is still remaining at 20 minutes like it always was. It's just that the shoutouts segment takes a long time, okay? All right, taking a sip of my Kickstart energy drink. All right, now we shall begin. Shout out to Dusty Dead, who cheered and said, Phil, I will pay you $50 to pay any Fire Emblem game and beat it. Everyone would love that, and it would be so fun. All right, I will pay the game, and obviously he means play the game. Fire Emblem is an RPG series that has been out for quite some time. They've had many different iterations. Most notably, recently they've pretty much been a handheld kind of staple. Like, in particular, the Nintendo 3DS, gets a lot of their games. I played one a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was at this point. I'm serious. I don't even remember which one it was. But I did play one Fire Emblem game. I did not play it for YouTube. It was an offline playthrough that I did on my 3DS. And I actually really liked the game. I thought it was quite good. But never in my 10 years being a content creator has there been much of a clamor or a desire for me to play through a major Fire Emblem game. Even when they're new releases, I rarely get a request to do a playthrough. And I think there's a combination of factors. Number one, JRPGs in particular don't get a lot of clout with my viewing audience for whatever reason. They don't go too crazy talking about these games. And it sucks because, as you guys know, I am a huge fan of JRPGs. Like, I grew up with JRPGs being a staple part of my gameplay experience. You know, the classics, Final Fantasy 4 through 6, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, just among many that I played. So I love JRPGs, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to resonate too well with modern gaming audiences. I mean, even a new game like Persona 5, right? You know, got hype at first, and then the hype died out. People just don't have that kind of retention to stick around for these lengthy game playthroughs. Number two, I hate to admit it, but Fire Emblem is one of the lesser-known JRPG franchises, even though it does have a hardcore fan base, that follow it around. What do they call it? A cult following, right? It's certainly not one of the when I think ginormous JRPG franchises, I think Final Fantasy, right? Fire Emblem, although it's well known, is not exactly one of the biggest best-selling franchises of all time or anything like that. Although it is good. Admittedly, the one that I played, I actually really liked. Okay, so that's why I really think with the few and far JRPGs that I do get requests for, it's usually like Final Fantasy or something like that. I don't really get requests for kind of the lower down the totem pole style JRPGs. Am I saying I would never play Fire Emblem? No. I would never say, oh, I'm never playing Fire Emblem. But at the same time, you guys got to realize that when I do decide to play RPGs, it's got to be, for a reason. Persona 5, I'm playing it because last year I had to stop playing it because of bullshit. I finally get to finish it now, right? Octopath Traveler I'll be playing because it's a brand new release, and so once I finish Persona 5, it makes sense to jump into the latest JRPG release. See what I mean? Fire Emblem, meh. If and when there's a new one and people are super excited for it, I would play it. That's literally never happened. I've never had a situation where a Fire Emblem game was a game where people were like, man, Phil, you definitely got to play it. It's so good and blah, blah, blah. So, no, if you pay me $50, I'm not going to play Fire Emblem. However, I would consider playing Fire Emblem in the future if there was enough demand for it. Okay? Okay. Derek Loves Lemur did a 50-bit cheer. He says, congratulations, France in the World Cup. Phil, in WWE 2K19, would you like to see a Sheamus and Cesaro campaign? Like their best of 7 series, their formation of a tag team. I love that, and the Daniel Bryan campaign is going to be amazing. Yeah, I would like to see a variety of campaigns. If you guys remember, in older WWE games, they actually did that. Like there was one year where there was a DX campaign, and I believe there was another campaign. There's like 2 different separate main campaigns, and sometimes they only do a series of one campaign following one person, and other times they do wide variety. I remember one year was the Attitude Era, and that was an amazing year for the stories. I loved that Attitude Era campaign they had. So yeah, I would actually like to play multiple campaigns in WWE, but I don't foresee it happening. In fact, I was incredibly surprised to even hear that they were doing a campaign with Daniel Bryan this year. So, okay, Omniscience Charity says, I hope you know Nintendo claims all revenue of videos of Eternal Darkness on YouTube. Well, first of all, Eternal Darkness, this would be correct. Let me put it this way. This would be correct if Eternal Darkness is developed and published by Nintendo. Okay? So I'm going to do right now. I just typed in completely the wrong thing. Very quickly, while I'm here on pre-stream, I'm going to search. Hold on. Eternal Darkness video game. Here it is. Developed by Silicon Knights, published by Nintendo. So, yeah, since it's published by Nintendo, it seems like there's probably going to be a strong chance the videos will all get claimed. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because it is published by Nintendo, that means there's a high risk. And that sucks. Because, Nintendo stealing ad revenue is fucking horseshit. Let's face it, it really is. It's fucking horseshit that Nintendo thinks they can double dip. Not only are you buying the game that they publish so they make money on the sale, but then they think that later on they could steal your ad revenue if you play their game on YouTube too. It's horseshit. And it sucks. But, being that number one, I'm going to be playing other wide variety of games this summer. Okay, I'm going to be playing, other, like I said, Persona 5, going through and finishing. I will be starting up Octopath Traveler. I'm, doing Jak 3, finishing that. I'm going to be starting Silent Hill 2, which, by the way, Silent Hill 2 is another one where whenever you play a Konami game, it's completely hit or miss. Konami sometimes will claim all of your videos in a playthrough, and sometimes they won't at all. It's a very weird process. Like, for example, Metal Gear. Most of my original Metal Gear Solid playthroughs were claimed by Konami, and I make no money on them anymore. However, some of my other Konami playthroughs over the years haven't been. It's weird. Silent Hill, it's very odd. Like, when I first play and upload the videos, usually they don't get claimed, but then some will for, like, the cutscenes first, and then later on, something might be identified and Konami will claim that. It's very unbalanced, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's unbalanced the way that Konami goes about their content ID bullshit on YouTube. So even though I'm playing Silent Hill 2 this coming week. I may not make any money on YouTube on those videos, all right? What I need to do, basically, I need to balance what I'm uploading to YouTube. I need to balance it so that at least half the videos I'm putting up there, I know I can make money on, you know? Because if I'm uploading tons of videos and not making no money on YouTube, that sucks. That's money, even though ad revenue is way down this summer, all right? And I am mostly relying on your guys' support here on streams to keep things afloat. I still need that some revenue from YouTube, you know what I mean? So we'll see, you know, we'll see how it goes. You know, am I disappointed that sadly, you know, there's nothing that I can do in regards to the fact that Nintendo will be claiming claiming the videos. There's nothing I can do about it, you know? Nothing I can do about that at all. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I'm disappointed that Nintendo does claim ad revenue, but at the very least, I guess what I can say is this. More people will probably be hype about me playing that who are the hardcore viewers who are going to watch on stream, and as long as people who are on stream are supportive, it won't matter that I'm not making any ad revenue on the playthrough on YouTube. And in addition to that, honestly, I mean, Eternal Darkness is not a huge game. I don't honestly think it's going to get much attention on YouTube. Just real talk, I don't think so. So, even though I may not be making any money on the videos on YouTube, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. What I may do is when I start the playthrough immediately in the first part, explain to everyone that on YouTube I'm making no money. And so please, if you support the playthrough, please go and you know, contribute via other methods like Patreon and the like, right? But thank you for pointing that out. I really do appreciate that because I had no idea that Nintendo published that game. And yeah, it will be annoying that when I play it, it looks like I may not be making any YouTube revenue. It sucks. It's a stupid process. It's a broken process. By the way, none of those companies have any legal right to do what they're doing on YouTube. It's just that YouTube facilitates it so they don't get sued, which is ridiculous and ludicrous. But hey, we all hate YouTube. What else can I say? We all hate it at this point. It's funny because, you know, 10 years I've been a content creator. When I started on YouTube, we all loved it. And then over the years, they just keep changing, becoming worse and worse. And now we all hate it. We all collectively dislike YouTube, which is pretty funny, right? All right, let's continue. Obi-Wan Kenobi just did a 60-bit cheer. Thank you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. In fact, that is the biggest cheer so far today. So I think what I'm going to do is put Obi-Wan Kenobi up on the leaderboard for top cheer. Let's get him up there. 60 bits, thank you. Thank you for your support. All right, scoot this over. And let's continue. Hardy Buck. Cheers, I enjoyed yesterday's IRL stream. You and Kat make a nice couple. Thank you very much, Hardy Buck. If any of you missed out on yesterday's IRL stream, it is available on demand on my YouTube channel, DSPGaming. However, no surprise, the video has gotten way less attention this time around than it did the first time. I knew the first time that we did an IRL special, where it was me and Kat answering your questions, I absolutely knew it was going to get tons of attention, because it was the first time Kat had ever been in any stream of mine whatsoever. This time around, I think people were kind of expecting her to be there, even though, again, I hadn't formally announced it. And so because of that, people, by the way, I should say this, people were still very supportive on the stream. The stream was amazing. The questions we got were great. It was a fun, interactive stream. We had a lot of fun doing it. And again, Kat said, yes, I would absolutely love to do another one, maybe sometime in August, you know, once some more time passes. But on YouTube, the video basically isn't getting much views, right? So it is what it is. I expected that. But yeah, thank you for that. And, you know, we will be looking forward to doing another one, like I said, sometime in August. Okay? Okay, Metal Gear Rex cheered. He says, there's a Vice City emulator for PS4. That's delightful. But I'm not going to be using that. Okay. Hardy Buck cheered and said, now that Jak 3 is coming to an end, rank the following. Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Cooper. For me, it's got to be Sly Cooper. Even though, admittedly, the Sly Cooper series had some really annoying parts. I remember, in particular, Sly Cooper 2 being an amazingly fun game. And just the graphical design, the variety of gameplay, the boss fights, the plot line. Sly Cooper for me all the way, man. Even though I do like Jak and Daxter and I do like Ratchet and Clank, I think Sly Cooper is the least repetitive of any of those. And I really like Sly Cooper the best. So Sly Cooper is my choice out of those. There you go. All right, LaFerret just did a 100-bit cheered and said, good morning. Well, good morning to you, LaFerret. You have now become the top cheerer, so I'm going to put you up on the leaderboard here. Very nice. Thank you, LaFerret. Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed the conclusion of Jack today. That's what we're all here for, right? YOLO Dopper just cheered, and he says, it's great that your Bills are going through fine. Thanks for many summers of endless fun. I still miss that summer of gaming when you played Earthbound. Yeah, that was my summer of retro. I remember it. The summer of retro, 2013. I played Final Fantasy 6 was, I think, the summer before. I played Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I played Earthbound. I played Chrono Trigger. And I did a co-op playthrough of Super Mario World with John Rambo. So for about a month straight, all I was playing was retro throwback video games. And let me tell you guys, it was one of the most fun summers I ever did. No exaggeration. It was one of the most fun gameplay experience I've ever done, because all of those games were games from my childhood that I absolutely grew up with, loved, and enjoyed. And a lot of those game playthroughs were more like walkthroughs than playthroughs, because I knew so much about the games, the lore of the games. I had played them so many times. However, it actually was one of the worst summers I ever had when it came to viewership. People told me that it was boring, the games weren't fun. I even had people coming out, like, I remember in particular, the Airy Lord said, you really screwed up this summer, Phil. If you wanted to do retro, you should have split it up. You shouldn't have done a whole summer of it. People don't like that stuff. And I was like, so basically, if I do what I want, I get yelled at. That it's boring. Even though, if you watch the playthroughs, it's funny, because some people eventually gave up their biases and said, you know what, even though these are old games, they're pixelated from the NES or Super NES or whatever, I'm still going to give it a look. I'm going to give it a shot. And when they watch the playthrough, they're like, holy shit, that's some of the best stuff Phil ever did, because he's passionate in these playthroughs. He loves these games. You can tell it comes through when he's playing the games, that he loves them and he knows so much about them. And he's doing these fun things, level ups and team ups and things, and like games like Chrono Trigger and the lore and stuff he's telling when he's playing Zelda. And he really enjoys the games, and it's funny that people will not give these games a chance just because they're old, right? It's kind of like the same thing that happens with movies. Like, some people literally will not watch black and white movies. Black and white movies? Oh, those are terrible. Those are the old school movies. Everything was campy and cheesy and no quality or nothing. Some people won't even watch movies from like the 1980s or 90s. Oh, those movies are old shit. I gotta watch a new movie with all this fucking CGI and shit in order to watch it. And it pissed me off that summer, because I worked my butt off trying to entertain people with really fun stuff, and a lot of people just gave me crap and were like, you did a bad summer of coverage, right? I completely disagree, but sadly, ever since 2013, 5 years ago, I learned my lesson. And I said, you know what? If I'm ever going to do a retro game or a playthrough of a game from my youth, what I'm going to have to do is make it balanced with everything else. Stuff that other people are demanding to see, because God forbid that I just play something for a short period of time that I want to do, I'll get yelled at. And that's literally what happened. People said, oh, we're not going to watch your stuff. For like a month, my views were terrible that summer, and everyone complained that I wasn't listening to feedback, and I was doing whatever I wanted, how dare I, and yada, yada, yada. You know, now keep in mind, that was 5 years ago, all right? In 5 years, a lot can change, and now I really feel that you guys here who are here for the streams every day would watch no matter what I play. Like, you guys are here to hang out with me and have fun and have a positive stream. And when I play games that from my youth, probably you're going to get a better experience, because there's more of me loving the game, more passion for what I'm doing when I'm playing a more retro game, right? So in general, maybe things have changed. You know what I mean? But I'll give you a perfect example, guys. Just the other day, I did a poll on Twitter, and I said, gee, you know, out of these 4 games, these throwback games, which would you like to see me play? And the choices were Silent Hill 2, Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, with no music, or Final Fantasy 4. And even though people now are complaining, don't play Vice City without music, even that, it beat out Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 4 was the last. And even though I said, you know, if I play Final Fantasy 4, this is a game from my youth. I've played it a lot of times. I know the secrets. I could tell you those. I could read the text. It's going to be an amazing one of these playthroughs of a game that I love, and you're going to really it'll feel more like a walkthrough than a playthrough. I think you guys will really enjoy it. No one votes for it because it's an old game. You see, so even though we're in 2018, you say, oh, times have changed. I still don't think they have. You know, there's still this innate bias against classic games. You know, if I play Final Fantasy 4, does that mean I'm going to have streams with only 100 people on them? And you know what I mean? I go, you know, no one watches it on YouTube. It sucks. I want to play these fucking games. It drives me bonkers, dude. It does, because I love them. I want to be able to play them. And I don't know if I ever will be able to at this point. The rate things are going, you know. But we'll see. You know, the other thing is that maybe what I can do is have a game like Final Fantasy IV be the downtime playthrough that or a late night playthrough that I balance with other stuff later in the summer. So we'll see, okay? All right, anyway, DJ Runo cheered. He says, there's an English-dubbed Phoenix Wright series on YouTube with around 25 parts. Do you think it would be worth it to watch it on stream with fans? It's really cool, so I recommend anyone who enjoyed the playthrough to watch it. I have no interest with that. No interest, but maybe one of my viewers does have interest. So, there you go. The Lord Lamb cheered 50 bits. He says, do we nominate games with the King of Hate as patrons or other process? I would love to see you play Hitman Blood Money. Well, from time to time, Lord Lamb, I do what's called a Patron's Choice playthrough. Okay, it's usually based off of, hitting a goal, like a subscriber goal here on Twitch. And we just did 2 of them. We just did Half-Life 2, as well as Simpsons Hit and Run. And to some extent, I would say Jak 3 also is a Patron's Choice playthrough because it came in 3rd place in the last Patron's Choice poll. And I just decided, I made the executive decision, I'm just playing it, okay? So, yeah, from time to time, the way it works is if we hit some kind of a qualification goal, then people who are patrons will get the ability to nominate and vote on games for a Patron's Choice playthrough. In fact, it actually is the Tier 2 subscriber goal this month. If we hit 475 subs at any point in the month of July, I'll be doing another Patron's Choice event, okay, where the patrons will have that option. But being that I just did 2 Patron's Choice playthroughs and I'm in the midst of kind of another one with Jak, it's not exactly the major priority for me to get another one. You see what I mean? On top of all that. But I will be considering doing more in the future. We'll see. We'll see how things go. In particular, moving forward, we're going to have a lot of holiday-themed events coming up, like a Halloween event and a Christmas event, etc. So, typically near the end of the year, there's not a lot of chance for Patron's Choice, only because we're so busy with the new releases and the holiday events anyway. But it's certainly not completely out of the question, so we'll see. We'll see how stuff goes. Okay? Wow, One Ton Hammer did a 500-bit cheer. Very awesome, because that is the top cheer of the day. So first thing, before I do anything to address what he says, I want to get One Ton Hammer up on the leaderboard. Thank you. Thank you very much, One Ton Hammer, for that 500-bit cheer. And he says the following. He says, you're going to play Eternal Darkness? Shit, boy, I'm there. Yeah, I bought it on GameCube. It's supposed to be coming, either today or tomorrow, supposedly, in the mail. And it's pretty much a lock that I want to experience this game this summer. What I'm hoping is that people will come out to the streams and be supportive. Now that I found out that, sadly, it sounds like Eternal Darkness will not be a game that I'm going to make any money on YouTube on whatsoever, I'm strongly hoping that people will come and be supportive on the streams, okay? But yeah, I am going to be checking it out this summer, absolutely, okay? All right, shout out to Omniscius, who cheers, says, final cheer I'll be doing, seeing as you decided to not give me a shout out for my earlier one about the pre-stream. Omniscius, I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I'm staring right now at my Muxie, and the only other cheer that you did earlier was in regards to Eternal Darkness being claimed by YouTube, claimed by Nintendo on YouTube, which I fully addressed and gave you tons of time for. So I literally have no idea what you're talking about. It's your prerogative whether or not you choose to contribute on a stream or not. But I hope that at least if you are making that choice, it's based on factual information, because I have no idea what you're saying. I really have no idea. Ally Guy cheered. Says, why Silent Hill 2 instead of 3? Well, I would say 2 reasons, okay? Number 1, because I think people hold Silent Hill 2 in regard as the best Silent Hill game of all time. A lot of people say it has the best story, the best kind of psychological plus jump scare horror, the best gameplay, and overall, in the whole entire series, it is the creepiest game of all of them. Number 2, because I played both Silent Hill 2 and 3 before, and I think a lot of people actually felt that my Silent Hill 2 playthrough was much better than Silent Hill 3. Okay, I do. A lot of people say that. So I think that's why, 10-year anniversary as a content creator, pick the game that was one of Phil's best playthroughs ever for him to replay in the modern times, right? Don't pick the second or third best, pick the one that was the best playthrough, and I think that's how people are feeling. So, Eternal Napalm did a 50-bit cheer and says Eternal Darkness is the only M-rated game that Nintendo has ever published. Wow. Seriously? Wow, that is actually interesting. That is a nice piece of kind of trivia there. That'll be very interesting then when I play it to see, you know, what kind of a game is this? How is it gory? Does it have tons of adult content? You know what I mean? Like, what made it a mature game? I mean, survival horror, so obviously you got to be some element of risk or death. But I'm curious. Now you've piqued my interest with that comment. So, there you go. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Pickles, who subscribed to the channel for the 6th month in a row. Mr. Pickles. Thank you very much, Mr. Pickles, for the sub. Eternal Darkness shared again, another 50 bits. He says, with the lack of survival horror games in 2018, does it signal trouble for the genre? Yeah, I do think so. Real talk, Eternal Napalm. It's funny because I was actually talking to Kat about it this morning, because I told her, you know, I'm going to be playing Silent Hill 2 this week, and I was like, you know, there's no survival horror games this year. And she's like, yeah, oh my god, you're right, there really are. I wonder why. And I was like, here's what I think. What you're seeing, guys, with modern gameplay audiences is casualized games. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. There are games that still stand out in the modern era that are popular because they're difficult. Look at games such as the Dark Souls series, Neo, etc. Those games have a big place in gaming because they're known to be difficult games. That if you want a difficult game, you play From Software, you play a similar style game. But in general, if you look at gaming as a whole, the trends are leaning towards some of the most casualized games you've ever seen. Fortnite is not a game that is hard to play or has a giant learning curve. In fact, if you actually didn't know this, guys, the majority of people who play Fortnite are little kids because the game is free, the game is cartoony, and because you got people like Ninja who are very, you know, what's the word, charismatic personalities. But if you notice, you watch a Ninja stream, it's kind of catered towards kids. You got people like Drake playing it, right? So the game got mainstream popularity, and kids are all playing the shit out of it because it's a very casualized style battle royale game, right? On the flip side, the co-op style, grinding style game is now what's really popular as well. Games like Destiny, games like The Division, where, again, is there a ton of difficulty? Is there a ton of learning curve? Is it really a game that takes a lot of skill to play? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's one of the most popular genres right now. Just jump in and do grinding style first-person shooter gameplay with your friends. Or, you know, in the case of Division, I know it's third person. Or take a look at a game like Street Fighter V. Okay? Street Fighter V is a game that's one of the easiest fighting games ever to jump into and learn. It really is. Some people even say, you know, you play for a week and you've already learned a lot of the top-tier strategies. It's not to say that you're going to win tournaments, but very low execution. It's not hard to learn. It's low footsies, basically very low skill level to play it at a competitive level. And that's, sadly, I hate to say it, where we're headed as mainstream gaming has become. You know, gaming is the biggest, most profitable entertainment industry on the planet. Bigger than movies, bigger than TV, bigger than music. And because of that, how do we appeal to the mainstream more? Well, let's just dumb everything down, right? Now, how do you make a game that's scary if it's easy? See what I mean? Like, if there's no element of risk, oh god, I'm gonna die. I have low resource, resource management is a problem. There's not enough ammo or things to defend myself, not enough healing items. My character could die at any moment. If you don't make a game like that and you just make it casualized, how does it sell? You know? Now, I would say the exception to that would be Resident Evil 7. But at the same time, if you guys aren't aware, even though Resident Evil 7 sold well, it didn't sell nearly as well as some of the previous iterations in the series that Capcom considered giant blockbusters. So, in that regard, you know, this is what's happening with survival horror, is that it's just not selling well anymore because gaming has gone in a different direction towards the more casualized gamer to make big money. So it's actually a giant investment for a game studio or game publisher to put money into a survival horror game and then not expect a determined return on that investment. Versus, oh, if we just sink money into a battle royal game, if we sink money into a stupid team-based shooter game, if we sink money into a game that's casualized, chances are it's going to sell way better and make a lot more money. So what's happening is you're seeing way and way and way less survival horror games because the reason that they're horror is because, guess what? They're challenging, right? So there you go. I do. Honestly, Eternal Napalm, yes, I do see some problems for the genre. I'll give you a perfect example. Last year, Eternal, what the hell? The Evil Within 2 came out in October of 2017. If you look at the first game versus the second game, by leaps and bounds, is a better game. Better graphics, better story, tons more content, not a linear game like the first one. You know, tons of optional, really scary, spooky side content. I think it's a much more scary game, and it's a better game overall. However, sadly, I hate to say it, it didn't sell. If you actually look at sales numbers, it didn't sell nearly as well as the first game. The game had no advertisement budget. They weren't allowed to advertise the fucking game anywhere. So even though it was one of the best survival horror games of the past several years, it basically didn't sell. And that's sad. You know? That's very sad. Because it was an outstanding game. So when you see something like that, oh god, here's an outstanding survival horror game, didn't sell, what do you think game publishers are going to feel? Oh, I got to stay away from that genre. You know, that's a dead-end genre. I'm going to put a ton of money into a game no one's going to play because it's tough or it's scary. We got to stick with the kiddie games, right? And that's really what sadly, what we're leaning toward. Everything has to be casualized kiddie games. So yes, Eternal Napalm, my honest opinion, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous about the genre, and I don't know how it's going to do. Hardy Buck Cheered, he says, for a downtime game, I would recommend God of War 2. You love this year's game? It's considered the best in the franchise, just a recommendation. Well, I do own the God of War HD collection on PS3, and I did play God of War 1 on that, and I also did the God of War 3 when it was a new release. Yeah, I did God of War 2 eventually. A lot of people say it's the best game in the whole franchise, but quite frankly, there's never been a big clamor for me to play God of War 2. Is it something that I would eventually consider doing? Yes, but again, I have to throw this out there. We do Patron's Choice all the time. God of War I've never seen God of War 2 as like a nominee, you know? So now maybe that we've got other games that people were dying to see out of the way, like Half-Life 2 and Simpsons Hit and Run, and finally Jak 3, maybe we'll start to see games like God of War 2 make it into the voting for things like that, okay? Okay. Omniscius cheered. He says, pre-stream conspiracy, Kappa. Yeah, again, Omniscius, I don't even know what you were talking about. I guess maybe you were joking. Third Eye the Third cheered. He said, your streams are catered to adults. Give me a break. All your jokes are about poop, dicks, and ass. That's not true whatsoever. If you're talking about, 2010 Phil, 2008 Phil, yeah, a lot of my humor was very silly, and for younger audiences, I have changed a ton, quite a bit. And if you still think that that's what all my streams are about, you're basically watching with your ears plugged, because that is not what all my streams are about, even though every once in a while, yes, I'll have a joke about that. It's certainly not what the main focus of my streams are. Yes, I try to keep it light and fun, entertaining, but at the same time, I would definitely say if you're watching one of my streams, it's going to appeal more to an adult audience. And if you were to poll, the vast majority of people who watch my content, the answer would be that they are adults, not children. If you go ask Ninja or PewDiePie, who are their main audiences, you're going to find it's probably about 90% children. So, there you go. My content is not catered towards kids. It never has been, and it never will be. Super Meat Boy did a 25-bit cheer. Thank you there. Emperor Swaggins did a 25-bit cheer. Thank you there. And he says, I'm getting close to the 200k bit badge. Have you ever seen the badge in chat? I don't know. I know that Austin Mink has the 750-bit cheer badge. That's the green. And I think that one of them is yellow. It's either yellow or orange is like the next higher level, I believe. If I remember correctly. But I don't know if I've ever seen the 200. I think the only person who ever would have hit that cheer badge would have probably been Viking. Vidar Viking. And I don't know back then if we ever saw it. I know, there you go. So Swaggins has the yellow one now. Lord Lamb says it's gray. No, I don't think I've seen it then. I don't think I've ever seen a gray badge in the chat. I don't think so. So I just kind of shrug. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen it. Nope. I don't recall the gray badge. The only gray badge I recall is the very low one. For the when you just start cheering. So I don't think I've ever seen the high one. Keep in mind, I don't attend other people's streams. I'm sure many other people on Twitch have people who have that kind of contribution level. I've never seen it, so. Okay. And Super B-Boy already is insulting me. How hilarious. How hilarious that the guy is already insulting me on the stream. Guess what? I'm not playing this guy's game like I did last time. I'm not giving him any chances to let anyone try to spin it in a way to say that I did one thing or another. I'm going to publicly ban this guy right now for being a dick, and he can't come back. It's that simple. Okay, you know, I'm not putting up with it. He's out of here. He's done permanently. And, you know, enough is enough. I'm not, because again, if you guys don't know, last time this guy tried to bait me. He did bait me. I took the bait, although I was very nice to him when I took the bait. And people spun it into me being negative towards someone. So fuck that. Just get out. Not even playing the game anymore. Just get the hell out. Okay. Alright, well, it looks like that's about it. Cody GTS in the stream chat just asked, am I going to play the new Telltale Walking Dead game? I might as well. It is the end of the 4-game, you know, set. And if it sucks, it sucks. But I guess I've been here along the ride for like 8+ years. I guess I'll play it. It comes out in August, right? It starts in August. So yeah, I will be playing it. Okay. All right. Omniscious cheered. He says, here's my cheer if you see it. Here's a cheer for the post pre-stream segment of the pre-stream that's not part of the pre-stream. Also isn't part of the stream. Congrats to France. Yeah, dude, I'm looking right now at my Muxie. Omniscious, it's not here. When you cheered, did you do that goal cheer command instead of the regular the regular cheer command? Because if you did, that doesn't show up in Muxie. So maybe you did the goal cheer, and I apologize. I can't see it. It's not in my Muxie at all. I just scrolled all the way down. It ain't there, so, you know, my bad that I didn't see it. Okay. Alright, so. Oh, you did the gold cheer. That's why. Omniscious, yeah, that special gold cheer does not show up in Muxie. It never did. The whole 3 weeks people have been doing them, I can't do shoutouts because it doesn't show up. So that's why. Alright, well, shout out to Lord Lamb V3, who just did a 501-bit cheer. To become the cheerleader for today's stream, he overtook One Ton Hammer. There you go, so let's get him up there. Lord Lamb V3 with 501 bits. Thank you very much, Lord Lamb. The Paradox just cheered. He said, shout out to France, who won the World Cup. That is correct, and I did actually give them a shout out earlier on the stream. Congrats to France. And now I guess we can finally move on from talking about the World Cup constantly, right? Shout out to Emperor Swaggins, who just did a 502-bit cheer. And Emperor Swaggins has now become the cheerleader for today's stream, so let's get him up there. Hold on. $502. Thank you very much, Emperor Swaggins. You are now... Oh, wait a minute. Well, I spoke too soon because as I was updating that, the Lord Lamb V3 just did a 503-bit cheer. And now the Lord Lamb has become the top cheerer again. 503 bits. So let's go ahead and get the Lord Lamb back up on that leaderboard. 503 bits. Thank you again. Reminder, guys, I will be updating, you know, the stream stats leaderboard constantly during today's stream for top cheerer and top tipper. Currently, we don't have anyone tipping, so that's an easy way to get up on the leaderboard. Just saying, if anyone's looking for some on-stream, you know, credit, there you go. That'll be an easy way to do it. Okay. Shout out to Shadow Steve. He did a 45-bit cheer. And he said, hey, Phil, sorry if you've been asked this a lot, but do you plan on playing Final Fantasy IX or Octopath Traveler? Shadow Steve, you must have come in a little late. That's fine. Later this month / early next month, depending on when I finish Persona 5, I will be starting up Octopath Traveler. So yes, Octopath Traveler will be a playthrough I'm doing as soon as Persona 5 concludes. The good news is the Persona 5 streams have been doing well. Attendance has been good, and support during those streams has been great. So it looks like moving forward, I will be doing Persona 5 as main gameplay streams, 4-hour sessions. So it may finish within 1 to 2 weeks, which is great. Okay. All right, shout out to Ost Mink. Ost Mink just did a 1500-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Austin Mink, for the 1500-bit cheer. You are now the cheerleader for today's stream. Let me go ahead and get you up there. Obviously, you know, you guys, like I said, this July, no lie, has been the most supportive month so far when it comes to streaming. Even though I'm playing these downtime games, you guys have really been amazingly supportive. I really do appreciate that. And, you know, thank you for that. If we can keep this kind of support going moving forward, and I can make my channel continue to grow with all these new releases coming out this year, it could be a really powerful end of the year where maybe finally my dream will be realized, where I don't have to rely on YouTube ad revenue anymore and I could just focus on Twitch. I would love that. Okay. Okay, let's actually check the sub count as well before we conclude the pre-stream. We're down to 410 subs. And you know what? I'm honestly not surprised, because I know for a fact, right, that, you know, people were very supportive last month with subs. And I think we only had like 1 or 2 subs so far on today's stream. But again, you know, big chance, guys. You want to see that monthly goal happen. Please go ahead and consider subscribing, right? 450 subs is the goal. All right, Third Night the Third just cheered 50 bits. Says, it wasn't an insult or anything when I mentioned your humor. It is what it is. There are kids in here, there are adults in here, and there are adults who will forever remain kids. Do you really care who chooses to watch you? Well, the thing is, no, I don't. I don't actually care in general about who watches my stuff. I don't. Anyone is welcome. You know, it's not an inclusive community of only a certain group of viewer, right, can come watch. But all I'm saying is games in general are dumbed down on purpose, dumbed down for the masses. And the wider spread that gaming becomes, you're going to get games, you're going to get stuff that's dumbed down. Much like, again, guys like Ninja or PewDiePie, you could definitely tell their content is geared towards a younger audience, versus you come in here and you're probably going to get, you know, different levels of commentary, different kinds of interactions with my viewers, not the kind of stuff you're going to get on one of their sessions, you know? And people know that. People know that. Even though there's some lowbrow humor that happens in here, you know that in general, a small kid, a 5 to 10-year-old, isn't going to sit here and watch a raw playthrough. They got no attention span. They're bouncing off the fucking walls, snorting pixie sticks, and they probably don't want to see someone do a raw playthrough of anything. You know, they can't take it. They need constant stimulation of some sort. And that's not what you get on my streams, okay? All right, shout out to the Lord Lamb V3, who just did a 666-bit cheer. So he did the number of Caesar. That is actually not the devil's number. That is the number of Caesar Augustus, if you didn't know that, guys. So he says, Hitman Blood Money hype one day. Yeah, maybe. Maybe one day, Lord Lamb, I will get to Hitman Blood Money. In fact, isn't Hitman Blood Money, wasn't it present in the Hitman HD collection that came out for PlayStation 3 years ago? Because guess what? I bought that collection and I never played it. I never even booted it on my PS3. That's how old the collection was. You know, it came out on PS3 before PS4 ever released, and I never played it. I still have it. So, you know, I might consider playing Hitman Blood Money moving forward. I own it in the collection, so. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi did a 97-bit cheer and says, Final Fantasy IX is a classic Final Fantasy. I believe you. I believe you. Eventually, I would love to play Final Fantasy IX. Like I said, it's the one I've never really experienced. But, again, it's got to be something that people want to see. And sadly, when I play JRPGs, they don't get a lot of attention. So it would have to be something that I balance with other popular stuff to make it work. So we'll see. We shall see if I ever get to it. Okay? Alright, guys. I guess we're good. It looks like we're good. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions on this pre-stream. I do appreciate it. Alright, reminder, if you cheer, sub, or tip during the stream, I'll give you a shout-out. Also a reminder, I'll be updating the leaderboard periodically for top cheer and top tip. Right now, we don't have a top tip. Top cheer is 1,500 bits from Austin Mink. And, of course, subs as well. We're building toward that 450 sub goal. Okay? So, once again, there you go, guys. My actual pre-stream was 20 minutes long. And we just did about 50 minutes of shout-outs. You know? It is what it is. That's how it works when you do an interactive stream. And people who complain, well, complaining to the wrong person. I'm just delivering on my promise to have fun interactions with you guys who contribute and help me out. So, there you go. Okay, that is it. Let us end the pre-stream. And let's get started with Jack and Daxter 3, the conclusion. Here's the music playing. I went to it on my menu here on the PS3. Jack 3 concluding, which means I'm finally concluding the trilogy, the Jack and Daxter trilogy, today live. Excited for this. I hope you guys enjoy, all right? Let's end the pre-stream and let's get started.